dare not forget today that we are the heirs of that first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by a hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed and to which we are committed today at home and around the world.
We're trying to stop an illegal logging operation. They're violating the Endangered Species Act, the Clean Water Act. They're destroying the best wildlife habitat in the state of Idaho. This has been going on for 20 years. The Forest Service has been trying to get in here for 20 years. And for 20 years, we've been able to keep them out in the courts. And they've taken advantage of a legal technicality that's created a little window of opportunity where they can come in and log these trees and make this a moot case. And we just can't stand by and let that happen.
Protesters speak out and end up under arrest. The protest centers on a remote area of the Nez Perce National Forest. Protesters want to stop a timber sale in the Cove Mallard area near Dixie.
They sing, hold signs, and try to block a counter-protest. A timber worker with his own message.
They need to go back to college and take some ecology classes and learn what they're really talking about. And I don't think most of them would be out here after that.
You like the buzzwords, my friend.
There are tense moments.
You're damn right, but it'll be the last road that gets built in the Cove Mallard.
But the real test will come when the first logging truck arrives. If the protesters don't clear the road, they will be arrested. A new law makes it illegal to conspire to block logging.
We are prepared to stay here until the trucks come.
Finally, the truck is here. Two protesters stand their ground.
Okay, and I'm going to place both of you under arrest for obstructing a logging operation right now. So
they are believed to be the first ever arrested under the new law.
We're going to fight this in court just as we're fighting the logging Cove Mallard in court.
The protesters were taken to jail. If they are convicted, they face up to $5,000 in fines and 5 years in jail. It is now a felony to conspire to block logging in the Nez Perce National Forest.
Okay, Carrie Tomlinson reporting to us live, and of course we will follow that case as it makes its way through the court.
Yesterday I had the opportunity to walk into two of the sales, and it's a nightmare back there. They just devastated some beautiful forest, and it's gone for a long time, and I'm here to stop that. I'm not going to let that happen. The Forest Service should get out of this roadless area.
We want to know how far the Forest Service is going to carry this. We feel like we have a responsibility to intervene in an illegal logging action. We think this should be dealt with in the courts. We think when we get in front of a judge, he'll slap another injunction on this timber sale, and ultimately we hope to have this protected in wilderness. Now, obviously, we can't do that if they log the whole thing, so we're here to try to do anything we can to stop that. Now, obviously, two people can't stop a logging operation, but we think if we can get our message out to the public, that the public will demand that it be stopped.
So if that means going to jail or something, that's...
Well, we have to take that risk. We don't like taking these risks, but we don't know any other way to, to stand up to what we think is an injustice.
Well, this is a symbolic blockade. We're going to get the message out. We're going to stop them for the day. have this vigil go on until March 15th. We're going to be here, and this demonstration won't last until March 15th, but the encampment will. And this is going to get the message out to the public that the Forest Service is illegally logging Cove Mallard. We're establishing a presence, and we're also monitoring the logging activity and providing support for a demonstration like this.
They have planned 140 miles of road and 200 separate cutting units, and it will devastate one of the most important biological corridors in the northern Rockies. And there's nothing you can do about that. These road densities, the loss of forest cover will have a really significant impact on the wildlife that lives there now. There's not much of this type of habitat left. And this here is the largest piece of unprotected roadless forest in northern North America. And we feel that it deserves protection for the unique area that it is. We have a bill in front of Congress that would set aside this place as a wilderness area. It's called the Northern Rockies Ecosystem Protection Act. And we certainly hope that the Congress will act on it and do what we think is our responsibility to protect the public domain from this type of extractive activity. Proposals that we've seen so far have been mostly rock and ice, and it leaves out these kind of areas. And that, in that sense, they're not wilderness at all, but there's scenery. And this is wilderness, and this is what we need to protect.
This is where things live.
This is where the animals are. This is where the fisheries are. This is where the outstanding opportunities for solitude and wilderness recreation are. You know, people know about this place from around the world, and it has a lot greater value than, you know, just an incidental amount of timber that they can take out of here to maybe keep 1 or 2 mills open for a few more months. It's simply not worth it.
The other day, members of the House were voting on a bill to limit the federal government's power to protect our natural resources from private interest. They had help in drafting the legislation from lobbyists whose companies lust to make profits from public lands. On cable, we could see the voting, but we couldn't see what was happening outside the chamber just a few yards away. There, the lobbyists had gathered with their laptop computers and were tapping out instructions for legislators inside. The scene recalled the meeting last fall when Newt Gingrich warned lobbyists for big business to buy in before the election or be frozen out later. They bought. Now it's payback time, and environmental safeguards are being suspended to make way for a massive raid on public lands. The House is about to revoke laws protecting national forests from excess logging. This could mean a fortune for the timber companies. And in the Senate, Alaska's Ted Stevens has won support for a proposal that truly boggles the mind. It would open millions of acres of public lands to chainsaws, drilling rigs, destructive vehicles, speculators, developers, what have you. And, I'm not making this up, he would put handcuffs on federal agencies so they couldn't do anything about it for the rest of this year. These agencies are supposed to be trustees for what belongs to all of us, our children's children included. The Senate could change that this week. Watch closely. The arsonists are finally in charge of the fire department.